Hi, I'm back again with part 2 of a quick video on the tune After You've Gone, written by Creamer and Layton, copyright 1918, great old tune, done by everyone from Ella to Louis Armstrong to Django Reinhardt, Stefan Grappelli, Sinatra, many versions out there. Let's take a look at the chords and how they work in here. We're in the key of G major, so similar to the tune Just Friends or I'll See You in My Dreams, the tune starts on the 4 chord. So counting up from G, since we're in the key of G, G, A, B, C. The 4 chord is C, as you see in the first 2 measures. So it's C measure. Right to the right of the C, you see the 4, Roman numeral. And then in measure 3, we go to the 4 minor, which would just be take that C and make it a minor chord. Second line, we're at the 1 chord for 2 measures, G major, followed by E7. Now, the E7 is what's called the 5 of 2. So in the key of G major, let's take a look over here for a minute. Okay, key of G major, let's just look at the first 6 chords. We're not going to be using that final one on the right, the F sharp diminished. 1 chord is G, 2 is A minor, 3 is B minor, 4 chord is C, the 5 is D, and the 6 is E minor. Well, if we look at that 2 chord, A minor, and a little bit of blue coming out of it to the left, the 5 chord of A minor is E7. And if you don't believe me, you can count up from A, B, C, D, E. So E7 is the 5 chord in any A key, whether it's A major or A minor. So that's why we call it the 5 of 2. A minor is the 2 chord in our home key of G major, and E7 is the 5 of that A. So let's just move back here for a moment. Second chord there in the second line is E7. It's 5 of 2. Going to the third line, A7 is the 5 of 5. A7 is the 5 chord of D, and again, D is the 5 chord in our home key. So therefore the A7 in red there, a little red line coming out from the D, down from the D, A7 is referred to as the 5 of 5. You know, at the risk of complicating something which is pretty simple, I'm just trying to show it as clearly as possible. We're in line 3. The second chord is D7. That's just the 5 chord in the key of G. Line 4 starts with G, the 1 chord. Measure 3, it modulates, it changes to G7. Okay? The G7 is the 5 chord of C. So think again of our original key G, G, A, B, C. C is the 4 chord in our home key of G. And G7 happens to be the 5 chord of that C, so it's called 5 of 4. Down to the next line, line 5, we have C, which is the 4 chord. Measure 3, it changes to the 4 minor again, so we're repeating the A section. Down to the next line is G, the 1 chord, going to E7, the 5 of 2. Down below that, A minor is the 2 chord. E7 again, of course, is the 5 of 2, back to the A minor, and then to the C minor 6, which is actually 4 minor. Okay? Third line from the bottom, we have the G, the 1 chord, going to B7, which is the 5 of 6. Again, if we go home to our key of G major, counting up from G, E is the 6th note that you come to. So in the key of E, B7 is the 5 chord. So since E is the 6th of our home key of G, let me go over here and show you. Sometimes it feels like I'm over-explaining something which is really not that complicated. Look at the orange writing over on the right. The 5 chord of E is B7. So it's the 5 of 6, because that original E minor is the 6th chord in our original key of G. All right, moving back again. Where were we? Third line from the bottom, E minor 7 is simply the 6th chord in key of G. A7 again is the 5 of 5. And then it just continues on out. G is the 1 chord, E7 is still the 5 of 2. A minor 7 is the straight 2 chord, D7 is the 5. Bottom line, we have G is the 1 for 2 measures. Then it goes to G7, which is the 5 of 4. The other important thing to realize about these secondary dominants is, for example, when we get to the E7, that second line there, second chord, you can use notes in your improvising from the key of A. Likewise, the beginning of the third line, A7, that's the 5 of 5. That's the 5 chord in the key of D, so you can use D major notes. So it gets more and more interesting as you go along. The fourth line in the green there, you see that G7 is the 5 of 4. You could use notes from C major right there. So anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I think it's a fairly simple concept. Secondary dominants, great tune. If you haven't seen part one, I take you through the whole melody, the chord changes, and the chord melody arrangement. So have fun, keep practicing, and I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.